Hello everyone. Have you ever sat through a lecture or read a textbook and thought, how am I ever going to retain any of this information? Well, you came to the right place. Because today I'm here to talk to you guys about my very own note-taking method and what I consider the best note-taking method, the outline method. Well, let's just get straight into it. The outline method breaks information hierarchically, kind of like a tree. It starts at your main topics and branches out to your subtopics, your supporting details, and your examples, which are totally optional, by the way. It's clear, logical, and easy to review. I use it, and it's great for lectures, readings, and sometimes even meetings. Sorry for that. So now, instead of talking, how about I show you? Let's go step by step. Get your paper, get your pens, or maybe even get your favorite note-taking app. Ready? Let's get into it. So, step one is your main topics. Now, when it comes to your main topics, which in this case is the nervous system, you always want to make sure it's at the leftmost margin, which, as you can see, it is. Now, step two are your subtopics, which in this case are my central and peripheral nervous system. These are kind of like your main topics under the one big umbrella that is your main idea. Third step would be your supporting details, which are usually denoted by, numbers or bullet points, but in this case are Roman numerals, which, as in its name, just give you details about your subtopics, which for your central nervous system just states that it contains the brain and spinal cord, and for your peripheral nervous system just states that it connects it to the central nervous system to limbs and organs. Now, your fourth step. Now keep in mind this is completely optional. If you stop at step three, totally fine. No worries. But just to demonstrate, here is my fourth step, which is examples of personal notes. With examples of personal notes, you always want to make sure it's one indent after the supporting details. And that just, helps to clarify. It helps you specifically. Because remember, these are notes for you. Now here, it's my example are that reflex action involves the spinal cord, not the brain, which I will go into later discussing why I had that. Now, that's it. That's the outline method. That's the basis for it. But we still have more to go. Let me give you some tips when using the outline method. 1, make sure you keep your indentation consistent. Without this, the outline method just doesn't work. That's it. 2, make sure to always leave space for notes. 3, make sure to write using abbreviations because you want to get the most out of the most compact time you can. And then lastly, 4, make sure to highlight key points upon review. Now, the outline method kind of mimics what our brain does to organize information. It's clear, logical, and easy to review, as I said. It breaks information from general to specific. And that's why it's very easy just at a glance to see your big ideas and your finer details, giving clarity to chaos, if you will. Now, as I was showing you, this is sort of like an example of what the outline method would look like. Think about it. You're in a psychology class and your teacher tells you to take some notes on the nervous system. Well, how do I do that? Well, bam. This is what a portion of what your notes should look like in the outline method. You have your main idea, the nervous system, which, self-explanatory. She asked you to take notes on the nervous system. There it is. Next, you have your subtopics, central and peripheral nervous system. This kind of breaks down the nervous system into its two main components, which are, as stated. Then, next in line would be your supporting details, which give details upon the specific nervous system. Central nervous system contains the brain and spinal cord, pretty just telling you that that's what the central nervous system is. Peripheral nervous system connects the central nervous system to limbs and organs. That just explains what the peripheral nervous system does. Sorry, give me 1 sec. And bam, there we go. Now, like I said, 4 step completely optional, but I just did it to demonstrate what an example would look like. The reflex action involves the spinal cord, not the brain. This is to explain that the reflex action, the peripheral nervous system does connect the central nervous system. This is due to that you are able to get a reflex out without using your brain, meaning the peripheral nervous system has to be connected to limbs. Now, that's it. But keep in mind, this is only a portion of what your notes should look like. Now, these are what a fully fleshed out outline method notes should look like. These are from my psychology class earlier today. Now, keep in mind, these are still a work in progress because we're still working on this chapter. But look, as you can see, it's clear, organized, and I can clearly see what my main topics are, which are bam, bam, and then if you scroll up, bam. And then my subtopics, bam, 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 all that. Now, we have my supporting details, which relates to what the subtopic is connected to. And that's it. That's really it. So, thank you for your time. If that helped, I'm grateful to help. I'm grateful to be of service. Get to note taking. Until next time, stay active and keep learning. Show the audience.
You go, Gio.
Cut.